right, welcome back to Mr. Bepic Interviews. Today I've got some Rocket League social media royalty with me in the Bop Pops. Bob, how you doing?
I'm doing good, man. Doing good. What about you?
I'm doing well myself. Excited to get to talk to you. And normally I have the guests that are on this kind of podcast style show start out the interview by kind of describing who they are in the Rocket League scene and what makes them so unique.
Okay. So I guess for me, yeah, my name is Bop, the Bop Pops. Go by Bop mostly. Some people know me as Pulse Bop as well, since I do the socials for Pulse Clan. But yeah, I'm mostly known as a Twitter main. I post a lot of tweets. And that's kind of like the general gist about me. I'm 21 years old. I'm from Connecticut, America. Family is Pakistani. And yeah, I enjoy Rocket League a lot. I'm not that good at it, I'll be honest. I'm like diamond champion usually, around that rank. Some people like when they see my tweets and like they'll DM me or something and be like, "Oh, I'm GC, do you want to play?" And I'll be like, "I'm not good enough to do that. I'm not good
Wow.
enough." But yeah, that's me. That's me. I'm on Twitter mostly. That's what I'm known for. I guess that's what makes me unique a little bit compared to a lot of content creators right now that are more known on like, YouTube, Twitch, stuff like that. For me, my biggest platform is Twitter. So, yeah, that's me.
All right. Love the overview. And the first question out of the gate, most hard hitting question you're going to hear all day. Where does the Bot Pop name come from?
Okay, good question, good question. So like the first time I ever used that name was Minecraft. It was my first ever Minecraft name. And basically I got it from this OG Minecraft YouTuber back in the day, like I think like 10 years ago, maybe like 12 years ago at this point. His name was TheBopPops. And he was just like a Minecraft YouTuber. He would post about Minecraft stuff.
Hmm.
And like I really like the bop in that name. So I was like, I kind of want to use that in my own name. And so when I was making like a Minecraft username for the first time, that's basically what I chose. I chose like the Bop Pops. I thought it just had like a nice flow to it. It sounded cool.
Nice.
That's why I decided to.
All right. Well, good to know. That one was kind of just out of my own curiosity. I wanted to know where that came from because it's a really cool name. So,
Thank you then.
now more to the serious part, the social media side.
Mhm.
Where did you start with social media? Like, did you have the plan when you first started using it to become a Twitter main, or was it just for fun, like everybody else?
Yeah, I mean, at first I just used Twitter as just like a normal thing. Like, I think when I first got Twitter, I was probably like 10 or 12, something like
Hmm.
that. I just used it for like following Minecraft YouTubers, stuff like that. And then later on, I eventually got into Rocket League. It's probably like 2017 when I started getting into Rocket League a little bit, Rocket League esports. And then I just started posting like tweets about like all my predictions for like RLCS Season 4 World, Season 5 World, stuff
Hmm.
like that. And like it rarely would get any attention, maybe like two, three likes maximum, one reply, something like that. But I just did it just to like kind of like if I got the prediction right, I wanted to show that like, oh, I actually posted it before. Like I thought it'd be kind of cool.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of like how I started. And like I had no intention of like ever like growing on Twitter. It was just kind of just posting for fun, seeing what would happen, trying to get predictions right, trying to get like pros to notice me if I like replied to their tweets, stuff like that. And that was basically I had no intention of getting big. So it's kind of crazy seeing where I am now.
Hmm. So what triggered the explosion then, or was it a gradual kind of growth for you?
I think for me it was definitely gradual because like I think yeah the first times I really like started posting about like Rocket League on Twitter like consistently like about
Mm-hmm.
Rocket League esports was probably like 2018, 2019. And like back then, like again, like I said, I wouldn't get many likes, but like one way that kind of grew my Twitter a little bit was like I would reply to a lot of pros tweets,
Mm-hmm.
stuff like that. And then like they would end up noticing me, and then sometimes like I would get a follow from them or something. And I think stuff like that kind of like motivated me to start tweeting more. Like some of the first pros to ever follow me were like Reddles, Gyro,
Wow.
um, pros like that back in like 2019, 2018, around that time. And like back then, like I thought it was like very crazy. And like that kind of stuff motivated me to like tweet about them more, for example, and then just start tweeting in general more. And like yeah, it was very gradual though, like very gradual. Like every year I would gain like some followers, and like as time has gone on, it's been like more growth over time. But like it was never like one moment that like oh like made me go viral or anything. It was always like a gradual thing. So,
So with that gradual growth, did you develop your style kind of gradually as well? Because like you've got a distinct Twitter style, like the Bot Pop style. I
Mhm.
remember Wavy posted a couple of tweets a little while back where he was kind of emulating it, and people were like, "Dude, you're not Bop." But was that style something that you developed gradually, or did you have the idea and just stick with it one day?
I think for me, yeah, I'd say it was overall kind of gradual as well. I think I kind of found what worked. Like, I
Mm-hmm.
think it was probably like maybe like towards the end of 2020, around there, like COVID time, when like I was more like starting to get a little bit of a following, like few hundred followers, getting like 1,000 followers, stuff like
Yeah.
that. And I definitely noticed that like that kind of, I guess like formula you can kind of say, where like you kind of like ask a question in there, you have like some information at the top, maybe something about some pros, some teams in the middle, maybe include a picture of someone, some team,
Mm-hmm.
something like that. I kind of noticed that like if I used like that kind of style, it would get more attention. For example, like if I posted like a prediction, for example, and then like I posted that, and then I asked like, oh, do you guys think it's a good prediction? Typically, that would get like a good amount of engagement because people would be like, oh, you got this wrong, or like that's a terrible prediction, or like, oh, I actually like this prediction, something like that. So like I always like went for like the engagement route instead of like the views or like likes route. Because for me, like I always felt like I wasn't like as funny of a person. I was more like, yeah, like I can like figure out how to get more engagement. So then I would
Mm-hmm.
typically ask a lot of questions, and like as time has gone on, I've evolved the format, and like nowadays a lot of people use it. I don't know if like I wouldn't say I created it, but like I think I was probably one of the first people in the community to kind of use it
Yeah.
consistently, and now like we see a lot more people use it as well. So yeah.
Yeah, you definitely pioneered it. It's like that's what I think of when I see that type of tweet. I definitely think of you and posting
Mhm.
about Rocket League. So, what was
Mhm.
there a specific tweet of yours that's like the most memorable or the most famous that
Mhm.
you would bring up if someone asked you like what's the most famous Bot Pops tweet?
That's actually an interesting question. I think my most famous one wasn't even on my own account. I think
Really?
I don't know if you would remember. There was I made this is like before I even had the following. I made like this Twitter account called Phase Claw,
Yeah,
where
I
like
remember that.
yeah, where like basically I made like a fake tweet from like it seemed like from FaZe account picking up Jamal Jabari back in the day, which was
Uh-huh.
Toasty, LJ, I think Krazix
Krasics,
at the
yeah.
time. Yeah, yeah. So it was like FaZe Clan picking them up because there were a lot of rumors about FaZe coming into Rocket League at that time. And then that tweet went crazy. That got like 500,000 views around that time. And like for me, that was absolutely insane because I didn't have a
Yeah.
following at the time at all. So like just seeing that was like wild. And that was also like I guess one of the motivators as well for me on Twitter to get bigger because like seeing the potential that I had there. And then yeah, so that was cool. That's probably like one of my most memorable moments. Yeah.
That's so fun. I had no idea that was you. Like that was
Yeah.
around 2020, the spring series, right? Like peak Jamal
Mhm.
Jabari hype.
Yeah, exactly.
That's so funny. So okay, I didn't know that was you. How about on the main account? Do you have a specific tweet in
Mhm.
mind on the main Bot Pops account?
Mhm. There was one tweet that like did kind of crazy. I did like I was just like randomly like I think last year probably. It was a tweet where I think I actually have it open. Hold up, I opened it. It was basically like it said let me see. Oh yeah, right here. So the tweet was Rocket League in a nutshell. That was what was worded. And like in the
Hmm.
tweet, there was a screenshot of Rocket League, and I changed the name to "This is not a free game. Every match costs you a part of your sanity until you are left with nothing but regret." And that one got like 400,000 views or something, got like 7,000 likes, almost
Wow.
700 retweets. That was just like so random. Like I posted it for fun, and like that one just went crazy. That one went crazy, yeah.
Huh. That it's so funny that you really have no idea like what tweets are gonna do that well. That's
Mhm.
have you found that it's a little random the
Mhm.
the tweets that pop off, or you think a tweet's gonna do
Mhm.
well and then it doesn't, and vice versa?
I think a little bit, yeah, a little bit. Especially more so when I didn't have as much of a following.
Mm-hmm.
Like it would be kind of random. Like if like I would have a tweet one day, it would just get like 2 likes, and the next day get like 200 likes. So like at that time, it wasn't like any consistency. Nowadays, it's like more consistent. Like I can like
Okay.
guarantee my post will get like a couple hundred likes, something like that, like get at least like a few thousand views. But back then I was like more experimenting, kind of seeing like what works, and like it would just be totally random. And nowadays too, I mean like certain factors like impact stuff. Like for example, if you post a tweet about Carmine Corp and
Mm-hmm.
like their fans see your tweet, that tweet will go crazy. Like just like I think it was last week I posted a tweet about their land that they had. They had like a big French land,
Right.
and like one of the tweets got like 6,000 likes, like a lot of views as well. So it's like partially random, but also like kind of like knowing what you're doing and stuff. So like there's some consistency as well.
Hmm. Okay, and I mean, you found a moderate amount of success on Twitter. Do you ever see yourself becoming a Twitter personality in any community when you were first starting out?
Definitely not. Definitely not. Like when I first started out, like there were a couple like bubble players and stuff that like noticed my tweets, stuff like that, like CRL players or like
Hmm.
lower end pros that would notice my tweets, and like that was really cool to me. And like I thought like, oh, okay, maybe like by becoming a little bit bigger on Twitter, I can connect with these pros, and like that's kind of like all I thought about it was like, oh, maybe I could become friends with some pros, something like that. That would be cool. But like I never expected anything like this. Like, I mean, yeah, like
Hmm.
I have like over 9,000 followers, which is not too bad. And like, yeah, tweets get a good amount of views and stuff. So it's pretty crazy. I never expect anything like this. I hope it just grows over time. And yeah, excited for what comes next, honestly.
I mean, X is like, monetizing now, and you're getting paychecks for impressions or however it works. I remember your tweet. The first X paycheck that you got was like $50,
Yeah.
and I mean, is that decent? I mean, is it better than nothing? What are your thoughts on that whole situation?
Mm. Yeah, I mean, for me, I haven't really changed anything with my Twitter since like before monetization came out to now. So
Mm-hmm.
like for me, it's just like it's kind of just like nice having that. Like it's not anything like life changing. Like I've gotten a few more checks that were like 30, $40 each.
Okay.
Like it's nothing too crazy, but like it's nice having that just a little extra cash because like I would be doing the same thing even if there wasn't any monetization. So it's nice getting a little bit of money at least from it. Yeah.
Okay. So, and I mean, with all the tweeting and impressions that you get, like how much Rocket League do you actually watch to keep up with stuff, or is it just a normal amount, and then you're looking at things after the fact and then posting about it?
Mhm. Yeah. I mean, I watch Rocket League way more than I play Rocket League.
Mm-hmm.
Like usually like most like weeks I'll have like 5 to 10 hours max in Rocket League. But like watching it, I'll try to always watch like every single event pretty much. Like
Mm-hmm.
at least like every RLCS regional stuff like that I always watch. Sometimes try to watch party it as well, but if not watch partying, like I'm always watching pretty much everything.
Hmm.
There were like only things like sometimes I don't watch is like there were like salt mine quals today. I watched a little bit, but I didn't get to watch too much of that.
Mm-hmm.
But like big 3v3 tournaments or like stuff like that, even like bubble tournament stuff, I always try to watch everything. Anything I tweet about usually is like I watch it. So yeah.
Gotcha. Okay, and I mean, I know other Rocket League Twitter personalities like GC. She
Mm.
watches like everything. It has
Yeah.
to be the case with everything she tweets about. Do you feel like that's a competitor of yours, like other Rocket League Twitter personalities? Do you feel yourself competing, or is it all just
Mm.
mutual tweeting?
I think it's like mutual tweeting. Like I'm good friends with GC and like there's other people like Wood, for example. I'm friends with
Mm-hmm.
him. And there's like a lot of people in the scene like Fisher, as for I would consider like them friends as well. And like honestly, like growing on Twitter, like it's been cool because like I've got to connect with them then and like share
Yeah.
ideas with them, talk to them. So like I wouldn't necessarily consider them competitors in a way. Like I think like we've all seen success like together. Like especially I think me and GC are some of the biggest right now on Twitter. And like usually like if she's having a good day, I'm also having a good day on
Hmm.
Twitter, something like that. So like I think it's like a mutual success. Yeah, it's pretty cool to see.
So it's more like a community of Twitter personalities instead of a
Mm.
competition.
Yeah, I think so. Definitely, yeah.
Okay, really cool. So now I want to kind of transition outside of just your personal socials and Phase Claw as well, apparently. But the orgs that you've worked for, I mean, I know Pulse Bop, like that's a really
Mhm.
cool word to have right next to your name, and you've
Yeah,
worked
yeah.
for a couple other orgs too. Where all have you been managing socials for other people?
Yeah. So I think the first ever like paid gig I got was Prestige Esports
Hmm.
around last year. I think I got their CEO was sworn
Yep.
and he DM'd me once, which was like, "Oh, do you want to do the Prestige socials?" And I was like, "Yeah, but." And I worked on that for a few months. It was pretty successful, I think. My first ever gig. And then, unfortunately, after Worlds last year, I think there was like a lot of drama around him going to Worlds with having COVID. He had COVID
Hmm.
and like sworn, yeah, he went with knowing and he didn't tell anyone. And then, so there was big drama around that. And then he kind of just disappeared and he shut down the org without like kind of telling anybody. And so that was pretty wild. I never got paid for
Oh.
that, unfortunately. He never
Oh.
paid me. A lot of people didn't get paid, like many thousands and thousands of dollars. Like a lot of the people that were on the team, other staff as well. So that was pretty wild. But thankfully, pretty soon after that, Pulse hit me up. Um, they needed like someone else to help with the socials. I was working with Cheetah at the time. Cheetah, a
Hmm.
good friend of mine. And so yeah, me and him were running post socials for a while. He was the lead, and then now I'm the lead, and it's been pretty cool. I've been enjoying it a lot. I've been the lead probably since like I think May or June, something like that.
Nice.
And it's been fun. I enjoy it a lot. I do like all the tweets pretty much. I do TikToks, Instagram Reels, YouTube Shorts, stuff like that, and it's been cool. I've learned a lot. And like, yeah, I think like before I even like joined them, I didn't know as much about socials, and now like just working with them, I've learned so much, and it's been so cool. So
Hmm.
yeah,
Well, that's quite the rebound going from prestige to Pulse. That, I mean,
yeah.
with that experience, especially with a name as notable as Pulse, is that something you would want to do full time, like with bigger orgs even outside of Rocket League?
Mm. I mean, in an ideal world, yeah, that would be awesome. Like I saw just today, NRG made a tweet that they're looking for full-time social media people. So I'm probably gonna apply for that.
Nice.
And like, yeah, I applied to some other things as well. Pulse, of course, is the biggest one I've gotten, and I'm really happy about. And yeah, it'd be something I'd love to do full time. Right now, like it's definitely tough in the esports industry. I'm sure you know, with like
Yeah.
casters and everything. Like there's not that much work out there, and not that much paid work, of course. It's hard to like make a living in this
Hmm.
industry. So like a full time position from an org, from something like NRG, for example, that would be insane. I would definitely take that if I got the opportunity.
Hmm. Awesome. So, are you studying like marketing or social media management in school, or is that just a separate venture of yours?
I've taken some social media classes, taken a couple. I've taken like a couple like film classes as well, learning about
Okay.
that as well. But my major right now is political science, so it's not actually like related that much to social media at all. But it's kind of like two separate ventures. But I definitely like considered like either majoring or like having a minor in like social media or marketing stuff like that. I've done like some stuff for my dad as well, some marketing a
Hmm.
little bit and some other stuff. But like yeah, for right now in college I'm studying political science, so a little different world, but I enjoy both right now.
Cool. It's also always good to diversify. But in those social media classes, do you ever sit there and you're like, man, I know this already. I'm literally living this right now, or is it new stuff that you're kind of learning?
There's definitely some new stuff for sure. Definitely like
Okay.
some
Okay.
different like tactics, some certain things that I definitely learned for sure. But there is like a good amount of stuff that I already know. Like in my last social media class, we had to make an account, a fresh account, and like try to grow it basically.
Mm.
And so I did that, and like it was Twitter account is still up. It's called like Rocket League tweets out of context, I think, stuff like that,
Yep.
something like that. Yeah. And so like that account grew pretty well. It got over 1,000 followers. Haven't been as active on it anymore since that class ended. I don't really like need to be active on it, but I still have it every once in a while. I'll post on there like a funny tweet or something. So honestly, like it's been fun, like
Hmm.
learning in there, and then also kind of already knowing some stuff as well. I've enjoyed that stuff. I enjoyed it. And it's definitely something I would consider full time if I got the opportunity.
Okay, cool. I mean, you've got the skills for it, and this is also a question I'm just kind of curious about. When you have a good idea for a tweet that could kind of fit any of the accounts that you're working on, how do you decide if you want to put it on the main or like turn it into a pulse tweet or post it somewhere else? How do you decide that?
Yeah, that's a good question. I mean, for me, It's like I know a lot of people on my Twitter they complain about me impression farming and stuff, but like if there's like a tweet that's like a more blatant impression farm that I think is still a good idea, I'll probably post it on a different account, like the Pulse account, for example.
Okay.
Like today I posted a tweet that was like it was like I don't know if you've seen this picture, it's like Patrick and like these it was like these chains or something, like Patrick from SpongeBob, and it's like what opinion would have you like this basically.
Okay.
So I posted like on the post account like, oh, what Rocket League opinion would have you like this? And so it's a little more of a impression form you could say. So like I wouldn't necessarily post it on my account. Like maybe I would, but I thought it could be a better idea for the Pulse account. Last
Hmm.
time I posted a tweet like that on the Pulse account, I got like 400,000 views. So like did
Nice.
well. So yeah. So like and then I guess for my own account, it's mostly like Rocket League esports related tweets. Sometimes it'll be Rocket League related tweets too, but it's like mostly just like RLCS or esports related tweets. Whereas on the Pulse account, it's very rare there'll be like esports related tweets. It would be more just
Hmm.
like Rocket League in general or freestyling, stuff like that. So that's what's helped. In the past, when we had, I'm sure we'll talk about more, but like RL stats,
Yep.
in the past, then it would be a little more interesting because like I could post esports tweets on my account or that account. So I would have to decide like, okay, which one do I like more? Like which one do I think I do better on? Something like that. And yeah, either way, it would work for me.
Well, that's the perfect segue. I appreciate you doing that for me. I did want to talk about RL Stats next because that was a really cool project of yours and the team. I'm sure you'll talk about in a second. But give the overview about RL Stats and it's kind of the goal for it, what it was, that kind of thing.
Yeah, so it started out with just Rockets. It was just him. He started a CEO. And basically, in the beginning, it was him posting like basically stats about like RLCS, like regional stuff like that. He would post about like all the little stats, like amount of demos, amount of shots, amount of saves, everything.
Hmm.
He post about, and he would always like tag the pros as well, so they would always see it. But it's pretty cool. I think it was I want to say like 2019 when he started that, maybe 2020, around that time when he started it.
Yep.
And then, yeah, later on, he invited me and Cheetah as well to join him, help with like the socials and like certain ideas, stuff like that. And honestly, it was a really fun project. We did a lot of cool stuff with we did like Rocket League power rankings every week,
Hmm.
where like we would rank like top 10 NA teams, top 10 EU teams. And at first, it was just like me, Rockets, Cheetah. Then eventually, we invited more community members like Iceberg, Renidle, Fisher. We had a couple other people as well, and it was pretty fun. I enjoyed that stuff. It was always cool, like seeing like different opinions people had, and I always enjoyed that. It was a really cool project. It ended up like it started with stats. That's why it was called RO Stats,
Yep.
and then later on, it was kind of more just like helping the Rocket League scene. Like any time someone like was looking for a team or like there was a roster move, we'd always tweet about it. Kind of like Rocket League news in a way, and like just like different Rocket League tweets as well. Like always esports related, pretty much. And that was kind of like the gist of it. And then yeah, more recently we retired it.
Hmm.
Uh, we felt like we didn't have as much time to like work on it, and Rockets felt like it was best idea to just retire the account. So yeah, that's what happened.
So following that retirement, has the team kind of gone its separate ways? And I imagine you guys are still friends and all that, but are you all working on kind of solo projects for now, or are you looking to make a sequel or something like for RL Stats?
Mhm. It's definitely possible to bring something back. I mean,
Hmm.
we're still as close of friends as we are as we were before. Like we have a group chat that we always talk in every day. So who knows? It's not necessarily the end of it, not necessarily the end. We could bring something back in the future. We'll see. We'll see. No like concrete plans right now,
Sure.
but it's definitely possible we do something in the future. Yeah.
Okay, cool. And then looking back on the whole project, I mean, RL Stats spanned like 4 years of Rocket League content. Was there a most memorable moment? I mean, you talked about the power rankings. Something outside of that that you remember the most about RL Stats?
Mhm. Good question. Good question. I think like some of the coolest moments were like, for one, going to Dallas last year, Worlds.
Mm-hmm.
It was the first time we all met each other. That was
Wow.
really cool. We got to take pictures together. Yeah, post that. That was like, RL Stats mean together. And it was cool. Like sometimes we would like see a caster or something and they'd be like, yo, that's the RL Stats gang or something like that. that was really cool getting kind of like known like with that right there. That was awesome. And yeah, also like I know like the power rankings, like I said before, at
Hmm.
certain times, like we did like world's power rankings with like 20 different community members. That was really cool, just like seeing what people's different opinions were. I think like one of like the funniest tweets I think I made on there was it was about I think it was probably like beginning of this past season.
Hmm.
It was a tweet I made about Tundra Esports. It was Rizex, Casio, and Raziers, I want to say. I think was on the team. And basically, I made a tweet where like I accidentally said that Casio was German. And then basically the whole French community got really mad at me. I remember Vatira responded to it and like other people responded. That tweet went like very big. And like that was pretty funny because like I kind of just like went along with the joke then saying like, oh no, Cassie's actually German. I made like edits and stuff showing that he's German. And that was pretty funny. But yeah, overall it was a successful
Wow.
project, I think. I enjoyed Arostats a lot. There were like a lot of cool moments. Like there was a time where before I was officially on it, but
Hmm.
there was a time where Rockets basically for a whole week let different community members like use the Twitter account and like post whatever tweets they wanted. And so like one day we got GC, one day we got like Fisher, I think.
I
One day it
remember
was
that.
me. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And so that was fun. I enjoyed that. I made like some like random tweets about like Musty or stuff like that, and that was funny. And yeah, overall, it was a good project. It was a good project. I would definitely love to do something similar to that in the future again, maybe with Rockets and Cheetah as well. I think it was cool to have that. It was really cool.
I mean, that started around the time that I got into RLCS, so it's always been
Mhm.
synonymous with the esport for me. But moving away from
Mhm.
that, since it is now a retired project, sadly. But with
Mhm.
you started making content, streaming. I know if you go to the BopPops YouTube channel, there's
Mhm.
some good videos there as well. Is that something you're looking at doing more of in the future? Just content creation in general?
Definitely, yeah, definitely. Because like we were talking about before with Twitter, like there's some monetization now, but like it's
Hmm.
not too much at all, not too much. So like yeah, YouTube and Twitch is where like the two like money makers are, I guess, right now in content creation for the most
Hmm.
part. There is of course TikTok as well, which it's a little bit tougher to make money on there, but it's definitely possible as well. But for me, yeah, YouTube and Twitch are two things I really want to focus on a lot. On Twitch, I've been streaming for the past few months now. I got affiliate a few months ago, and then I've
Nice.
been streaming pretty consistently. When I had ended up moving like last month, and then since then it's been a little bit more inconsistent. But before that, I was doing like 3 to 4 streams a week usually, and it was pretty fun. Definitely like growing a community on Twitch, seeing that was really cool. And then on YouTube as well, I posted one video that did pretty well. It was earlier this year. It was about like when you remember like the bots came into Rocket League and like people were
Yep.
cheating in ranked matches, yeah, stuff like that. So I made a video about that, interviewed a guy that was doing that, and that was pretty cool. I got like 30 something thousand views, and
Hmm.
like that was pretty cool because like the videos I made before only had a couple hundred views, so that was really awesome. And like I kind of like the style that I did. I was kind of inspired by like Sunless, the way he does like documentaries,
Oh
stuff
yeah.
like those are like really cool. Those are some of my favorite videos that he posts. So I was inspired by that and kind of tried to mimic that a little bit. And I've worked on a couple of videos since then. Like I've edited some videos and like I've gotten like progress done for like different ideas, stuff like that. But I never quite was able to finish any of them. So
Hmm.
I'm hoping I can finish them. I'm hoping I can get some stuff out soon because there's definitely a lot of ideas I have. It's just
Sure.
always about like executing those ideas, having the time to edit that like I need to work on. So I'm hoping soon. Definitely want to revive the YouTube channel and then want to start streaming more consistently on Twitch as well. Cause like yeah, YouTube is cool and like but like it's not like live. Whereas
Hmm.
on Twitch it's like you have a live audience in front of you, which is like it's so interesting. It's so unique. And it's definitely something I want to grow on as well.
Absolutely. I mean, are you stockpiling ideas for the upcoming RLCS season whenever that's gonna happen?
A little bit, a little bit. I have some ideas for both Twitch and Twitter and
Hmm.
or Twitch and YouTube, I should say, but Twitter as well. And like there's a lot of cool stuff. Like for example, one thing I did this past season, like recently, like during the summer mostly, was like on Twitch, I would have streams where I do power rankings, and then I would let Twitch chat also vote on like top 10 teams in the
Yeah.
world, and then I would do that as well. So that was pretty fun. Definitely something I would bring back for next season. And things like that where like I can engage the community in. Where like my last stream I did like a countries tier list for like Rocket League players, and then I streamed that as well and let chat kind of help me with that. So things like that I enjoy doing a lot where I can engage with the community, engage with my chat, and like still be like Rocket League esports like focused.
I love it. I've tuned in a couple of your streams, and they're a
Mm-hmm.
lot of fun to listen to. But Bob,
Thank
that's
you.
those are all the questions I've got for you. So
Mm-hmm.
I appreciate you talking with me. Anything you want to shout out or something before we end it?
Um, Not too much. I want to shout out you. I mean, like your stuff that you've been doing. Like I
Thanks.
always love the accrue streams. Those are always some of my favorite streams. I always tune into those. I hope. Are they still like in org, by the way? I haven't really seen much out of them recently.
Not in Rocket League, but still in
Mhm.
org, yeah.
Yeah, okay. So yeah, I'm excited. Hopefully you get more opportunities this next season during the off season. I really love your casting. Your style is always one of my favorites. So I'm excited to see what you could do going forward.
Thanks, Bob. I've never had the shout outs turned on me like that. I don't know how to react, but I appreciate you joining me. That was an interesting talk. Haven't gotten a real in-depth view into the socials side of things, so
Mhm.
thank you.
Yeah, of course.
All right, well, that does it for this edition of Bepic Interviews, the magnificent Bop Pops. Of course, go follow him on Twitch and YouTube and Twitter, and I'll link all that in the description. But that does it for this interview, so hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one.